Hi, Adam. Just trying to add Chester. It's just giving me a saying adding. It's really weird. It's still adding. Let me try something else here. All right, Chester. Okay, so I just sent you an invite. Hey, Bruce. Let's see if it's gonna let me add Bruce.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
What's happening?
One nothing. Just what am I drinking on tonight? Adam's asking what I'm drinking on tonight. Pacifico, and I didn't know if anybody knew, but apparently Stanley makes
So Raul,
beer steins. I was not aware of that.
I gotta call you, Raul. I'm gonna call you, man, probably tomorrow, couple days, something like that. What's up, Adam?
Trying to see if it will let me add. It will let me add him. Hey,
Yeah,
Trent. Is it? Hmm. Let's see here, Chester. You might need to hop out and then hop back in because it's not letting me add you. Here, one second. Let me see because I sent you an invite, so I'm wondering if maybe you have some sort of icon at the bottom of your screen that basically prompts you to ask if you want to come on camera or send a request. Let's see if it pops up on my end. Hey, Mama.
it's gonna be very interesting tonight.
Oh man, I can't wait. Like there's so much experience. All right, let me see. Aha. Okay, let's see here. Let me see if it'll let me.
Nope. What's up,
Bruce?
Wendell? What's happening, man?
What up, Bruce?
Rough on my end, boy. You know it.
Yeah. Hey,
Rough
real
on your
quick,
end.
for anyone that wants to know if me and Amanda do not like each other just because of the way we post, you are absolutely 100% correct. I don't like her at all.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Like there'd be like there's any doubt. Like this.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Can't stand this fool.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Carl and I, not Carl Clemens. He started watching just now. So not you, Mr. Clemens. I'm talking about
That's what you get,
Carl.
Amanda. That's what you get.
Yeah, I know. Literally, the moment I said it is like, Carl's watching. I was like, damn it. Yeah, give the disclaimer. Okay,
Amanda's
so
my dog. She literally messaged me the other night and she's like, you're the brother I wish I always had.
okay,
And I'm just
I
like,
feel like that's how I remember that
I was like,
happening.
Yeah, somebody
I'll
just
remember
put
that
look, somebody just
conversation.
put y'all fighting like brothers and sisters.
I think if I
That was
remember
so.
correctly, you said you're like the sister I never wanted. To which I was like, "Oh no,
Oh
man! I'm
shoot!
glad you didn't send that to me while I was
Oh
driving, or I'd
man!
have driven off the bridge." And I forgot to add because the prospect of being the sister you had never wanted was terrifying.
oh my God. We
That's
have fun.
funny.
Oh yeah, it's a little too much fun sometimes. But I think some people if they catch you off guard, they're just like, "Oh my gosh, I think they really don't like each other." I'm like, no, we go.
No, they probably get that vibe, but I think they'll learn Caleb. Because sometimes Caleb don't crack a smile. You can't really, sometimes he don't crack a smile. That's probably what throw him off.
He does have a little bit of RBF. He does have the RBF, so I get that. Hey,
There he
Oh,
is,
there I go.
the
Tim.
goat.
Mister.
Chester, how are
Hello,
you?
everybody. I'm all
Hey.
right. I'm on travel, so don't mind.
There's just for some strange reason, Live didn't want to like it. It didn't want to let me add you the way it's easiest. So we had to jump through some loopholes, but we got you. We got you.
Okay, that's fine. My light might go in and out, so don't bear with me because I'm parked at a rest area. But anyway,
Well, welcome.
so thank you
I don't
for the
know.
invite, everybody.
Have you seen any of our episodes before, Chester? Or
No, I haven't. Bruce and I talked a little bit, and I just basically asked him what do you want me to talk about, and he found out I know a whole lot more than I tell everybody.
oh, there's no doubt about it. There's no. That's why I'm like so excited to get this whole thing rolling. Well, so I don't know, like Bruce. I don't know if like the premise. Obviously, we love talking dogs. We especially love talking dogs. People that are positive energy. They want to educate. They want to enlighten. They want to give back to the community. And so obviously your name came up, and we were all very excited about it. So we're definitely grateful that you're willing to come on. But what we like to do to start off the show is to let you introduce yourself. Tell us if you have like a business, what your kennel name is, and how you got introduced to bullies. And then basically, man, we just kind of take it from there. We take questions from the comment section, if any of us have any questions for you. So it's really just kind of a open flow conversation. Again, just us talking dog. So I guess without further ado, take it away. Let the people know who you are.
All right, my name is Chester Elrose Jr. I am, there's a lot of things I am. Today's my son's birthday, so it's when I'm a parent first. And then, well, hey, that's what I am first. That's my first job to mentor and to teach. They're my first responsibility, my son and my daughter. I came to dogs totally by accident. There was a tape delay, and when I was 8 years old, there was a tape delay of Westminster, and I wanted to be the man patting all the dogs. At the time, I didn't know it was the judge. Now that I know that it's the judge, I know what the difference is. But I just wanted to be him. I went to my first dog show in 1978 in Boston, Mass, where I hail from. Go Celtics! And I've been going to dog shows ever since, either as an exhibitor, a spectator, or even now as a judge. Wow, there's a whole lot. But just to keep it very brief, at this moment, I'm a professional handler. I judge for ICBR, but my focus really is not on the judging or the handling. My focus really, or what I care about, is teaching people how to handle, because I feel that anybody can do it if they really put the work in, and people just have to take 5 minutes of their day. If you can roll a joint, if you can pour a drink, you can practice 5 minutes with your dog. No, I mean, as crazy as that sounds, it's the truth.
It is. The beauty of it is
Yes.
absolutely 100% true. Oh my gosh. So my big thing is obviously having history in all the breeds that you do. You have been able to not just handle but own and breed as well. Did you do any breeding?
I did not do the breeding portion of it because it was that's not my forte. But I have a breeder's knowledge because of all the breeds. My first breed is Afghans. My second breed is Dachshunds. My third breed is Azawak. I have a Tibetan Spaniel. I know people in all facets of the game.
Yeah.
So my mentors taught me how to breed. They taught me the geno, the pheno, understanding pedigrees, what you can and can't do, what should and should not be done. So
Yeah.
when I have a lot of breeders right now, when they need breeder evaluation of puppies, they reach out to me for a couple of reasons. Why? I understand form and function of the breed I'm looking at, and also I'm not kennel blind. I will tell them straight out if I like what I like, if I don't like what I
Yeah.
like. I mean, I have to be able to see it. I have to put my hands on it. Example, I have a brother that has standard French Bulldog litter. He has two bitches that are drop dead gorgeous. And I told him, don't sleep on the brindle one because the brindle bitch is gorgeous. He doesn't like her because of the tail. But don't hold that
Right.
against her because she has a tail. And he wasn't stuck on the color. It's just a breeder's preference, which I respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people don't understand you can't look at color. You gotta look at the
Yeah.
dog.
Yes. Oh,
Don't
absolutely.
look at anything else. Forget color is just a semantic thing. It's a preference. Because
Absolutely.
if the dog does not have the form and the function, it cannot do its job. So that's where my thought process is. So just to help you out a little bit, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit roundabout. Afghans are my first breed. I show a lot of Borzois. I show Azawaks. I show hounds. I'm a
That's
hound
best
person.
to say you a
So I'm a
psych hound
form.
person. You got legs,
Yes,
man.
I am. Yes, I am. And that's what I want to. I love the form and the function. When when I'm judging, especially the bullies, they might not like how I judge them. But see, I want to see a dog move. If the dog can't move, it can't do its job. Very simple.
Mhm.
And the way I look, and I'm gonna explain it this way: if a dog has to have only one function to do, take itself outside to go to the bathroom. If you can't do that, there goes your form and your function.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that when we talk about it that way, because all they're looking at is how pretty the dog is, how it stacks, and they don't think about the other parts of it, and that's what's important to me. But getting back to what my thing is, I like teaching people how to handle.
Love
I really do. It's the most fun. It's so fun to watch somebody finally figure out what they're making a mistake with, or what they didn't understand, or giving them 5 minutes of homework and they go home and do their homework, and then I know they've done their homework. Because that's the thing. I'm a little different as a professional handler because I know a lot of professional handlers won't share their secrets. I'm going to. I see it no other way. And the reason why is because someone took the time out for me. If they didn't take out the time for me, I would not be able to share my knowledge that I have now.
Oh,
So,
Hey, I
absolutely.
love
And I know you
that,
teach
Chester. I
folks.
love that about you.
Mhm.
Hey, real quick, Chester. Hey, can you angle your phone back around? Because right now you're sideways, and I'm just like trying to look at
that
it.
better? That better?
No, you
Life is
sideways.
life is
Hey,
more
angle
difficult
it
enough for
back
him
straight,
anyways.
like you're talking on the phone.
All right, hold on a sec.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
because right
I
now
just want to
it's
make sure that everyone.
rotated
Yes,
sideways.
That
Yeah.
there we
better?
go. There we go.
That better?
There
Yes,
you go.
there we go.
We was
Thank you,
like
man.
Well, I had it.
we was like really like this, you know.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. So, but well, just my thing is this. I have so much I want to say, and I don't want to take up everybody's time.
This is your time.
But
That's why you're here.
You got the floor, buddy. That's why you here. You
That's
got
why
the
you're
floor.
here.
well, all right. My thing is, we need to, in order for our sport to grow, we have to mentor people. And it can't be the professional handlers that win all the time. It has to be the common everyday people so that they feel part of what we're doing. Um, that's why I stress teaching everybody. If you don't want to do it and you want to hire a handler, I don't have a problem with that. But a lot of people, you can just go in there and do it. I have a couple of people that I they 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 know how. I went to them, gave them a private lesson, and now they're handling their own dogs, and they're winning best in shows now, which I'm very excited about.
Absolutely.
But they did the work, and they don't. And I told them, in 5 minutes, that's all it took. That's all it takes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And I stress that because just like you tell your kids to do homework, you got homework too.
Yeah.
So there is that. And then there's the other part that a lot of people don't get. I try to explain as a judge. I try to explain to people about exhibiting. A dog show's supposed to be a show. This is coming from my Afghan breeder, and he said, "When I'm in the ring, I want a show. Show me your dog. And if you can't handle your dog for a judge, he's not going to be interested." So that's why I teach people my little tricks, just like free stacking,
Yes.
or just engaging your dog somehow, some way to help them figure it out. But you have to, the human has to figure it out. The dog already knows what to do. It's looking for your guidance.
Right. Your guidance, your confidence. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, you said you started with Afghans and Borzois, like so
Yeah.
the larger strided animals. So obviously for you, obviously you said that form, function, movement being a huge part of that in the ring. So.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, obviously, you take in consideration different breeds, and as a judge, you're looking at all these other breeds and their structure and taking into account like how differently they need to be able to move? Do you find that there are any specific breeds thus far, especially kind of in that bullier category where they're obviously a little bit denser, they a little bit lower to the ground, a little bit broader? Do you have any issues with that you take with the way that they move, and would you have preferences or anything like that?
Well, all right. I show Cardigan Corgis. I show Berger Moscow. I show this weekend. I show a Shih Tzu and a French Bulldog. So I definitely have a good range of dogs and how they should. All standards are the same. The only difference between any standard is the nuances of the breed.
Breed types. Yeah.
So if we're talking, Cardigan Corgi, it's a dwarf dog. It does not have the movement of an Afghan. It shouldn't.
Not even close.
But it is very similar to a Dachshund.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's similar to a Skye Terrier.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have if you understand what the dog's job is, you understand the function of what the movement will be or may not be. Just like the French Bulldog, for instance, has a slight roll.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at the coming and going, front should be good, should be straight, but the back end should have a slight roll, not a big roll, similar to a Bulldog.
Yeah.
But how many people understand what that means? So that's how I look at it. And when I'm looking at, say, we're talking about bullies are a little bit. It took me I have to thank a couple of people for this one. Bob Johnson, Terry Huntley, and Kovatny Murphy invited me to ICBR a few years ago, and I've been going to shows ever since. So if it weren't for them, I would not have been able to see the other side of things, because as I expressed to my AKC friends, this is just as important as AKC is.
I love that.
Reason being is because you all, and I'm going to be to the point, so don't mind me, because I don't play with them. I'm not going to play with you all. I tell my white friends in AKC, because you would not allow a lot of brothers and sisters and what they call PWT to come into your world. They found something else to do.
Yeah. Found somewhere to belong.
So they
want cherished. Yeah.
If they want to they enjoy showing, they enjoy competing just like you do. So what makes them any less? Further that, when they came to you and asked about a specific breed, for instance, let's use let's use bulldogs and French bulldogs because that's the rage right now anyway.
Right.
When you're worried about what that individual is going to do with your dog, which I do not fault them for, but if you're going to sell anybody a puppy, your job as a breeder is to mentor them.
Yep.
A lot of you all choose not to and look down your nose at them. It doesn't work that way. I have several of my friends that I talk to, and they're like, if I need anything, if I gave a seminar, they're willing to take time out to do the workshop with me, because they want to help people. I have a friend of mine, Kathy Suave, who is my Cardigan and Corgi mentor. She has a handling class. She says all breeds are welcome, all registries are welcome. Because the only way you're all going to learn how to show a dog is by having people teach you or help you out.
Yeah.
So that's important. So when we look at it, because I have a lot of brothers and sisters that go to AKC shows and nobody ever talks to them.
Rude.
Why it shouldn't be it shouldn't be me being their lifeline, although that is my job. But they don't want to share their information. The AKC can be snobbish, and I'm guilty of it too sometimes. So I'm gonna raise my hand because I'm a purebred snob on a lot of things. But that's because I came from there, and I've
We come from
been
some
doing
old
dogs
breeds, man.
for
Those
close
breeds
to
have
60
existed for
years now.
thousands of years, so yeah, I get it.
So, I mean, reading all the standards that I've read, standards I'm still reading, dogs that I'm showing, because every time I get a new dog, I have to either reread the standard or read the standard or get clarification, or there's something I didn't understand and ask a question, because that's the only way I learn. Now, going back to now we're talking about bullies, so it took me a minute to understand them a little bit, but it's not any different than an Amstaff or a Staffy Bull. You just have to understand the nuances of that breed. Now, sometimes I would like to ask a breeder, what the hell were you thinking about? Because I'm sorry. I apologize. Bruce, you and I already had a little conversation about this earlier.
Oh no, don't apologize. I love it. Be raw.
Yeah.
Be real.
Because
Yeah.
here's the thing. You're talking to a hound specialist. I see things. I want, hey, if you're going to be a big dog, be a big dog. But be in shape, be in condition, and don't bitch at me if I make you go around 3 times because I need to see something.
Yeah.
Because if your dog's not in shape, you have not done your job. Can I say it one more time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
If your dog can't get through it, you have not done your job. You have to condition that dog to be able to take that. And again, I come from a different thought process, because as soon as I walk in the ring with an Afghan, it's 1.5 times around. God forbid that there's a class of 20. You're going to be tired, because that judge is going to send you around as many times as he wants, because he needs to.
Oh, yeah.
Now, again, I show a lot of working breeds. I show a Doberman, but I also show Siberian Huskies. That's a lot of work. The specialty judges make you run. If you're showing a German Shepherd, they make you run. So my thought process is make sure your dog is conditioned. Because if what I would like to see happen, what I suggest to anybody, go to a nationals of whatever breed you like. And the reason why you go to a nationals, because you'll see a whole lot of things that you would never see before. This weekend, I was in Timonium, Maryland, and I saw the Staffy Bull nationals. There are over 100 dogs there.
Damn.
Now, and I'm gonna give it I have many different subjects to come from that. First subject, for exhibitors, judge has to understand what this has to read the standard. If the interpretation of the standard is according to what the judge sees at that moment. If the judge has 100 dogs, there's going to be a lot of unhappy people who don't get ribbons. And you can't be unhappy because you have to realize what your competition is, who's there, and how close did my dog get to the standing.
Right.
Now, this weekend was a little bit different because all the judges came from England.
Oh,
And it was very interesting to watch because in England, the dogs are more racy, more leg, and they're thinner, built like, say, like a greyhound type. That's the best way I can explain it. Americans a little bit more beefier and stockier.
Mhm.
So as I'm sitting up there, I'm watching the judging, and I'm sitting there, oh, that's interesting, and I started pointing out to what the judges were doing. I was sitting right next to a Staffy Bull breeder, and she said, I would never put any of those up. I wouldn't even take them home because if the dogs were like that at where they live, I wouldn't even want to breed to them. I said, that's where you make your mistake because that's what they like. And maybe you might need to incorporate that in your line.
Yeah.
Humble opinion.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I could speak so hard is because I show European line dogs for Dobermans.
yeah.
So I understood, but you have to watch what the judges are doing. That's why exhibitors go to a specialty of whatever breed you like. If there's one in your neck of the woods, go. Because then you'll get to see what the judges actually have to go through. You know, if a judge is judging 100 dogs, imagine an Afghan nationals when you got almost 1,000. Now they split up in three judges if need be 4, but you'll have one for dogs, you'll have one for bitches, and then you'll have one for intersex, which means all the champions, male and female champion. Now, and just in your champions field, you got 200 dogs. There's only one best in show ribbon.
Yeah.
There's only one best of opposite ribbon. There's only a certain amount of ribbons, all right? So when you go to a show, don't expect to get a ribbon because it's not promised. And the other reason why I always tell people, all I really care about is my dog's performance. I can care less about the ribbon. I can care less about the win because as long as I know I've done what my dog and I have worked together, and I got the performance I did out of him, then I've done my
There you
job.
go.
The rest of it's on the judge.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I like that.
So this weekend I had a good weekend. I got my puppy, the French Bulldog show did well.
Nice.
The first day, I knew the judge wasn't going to like him because he doesn't like people of color. I already know that. That was a wrap. But
Wow.
Sunday, I got best of breed. And all the judge could say, I couldn't stop looking at him. But I really wasn't worried about that first judge because I knew what he was about. But I was working with my puppy to make sure that he knew what we needed to do. And it worked. So I'm sorry. I'm to the point. I don't see it no other way.
I'm sad about that. Yeah, I mean, we all feel.
No, but that's the nature of the game.
Yeah.
That's why I enjoy going to GCR, USBR, ICBR because I don't get that. I feel at home, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It does. Absolutely. I mean, when they say get in where you fit in, I mean, it kind of, I'm sure it absolutely feels that way. There's a lot less judgment on the human being, I think. And
yeah, well,
there should be.
But see, I fit in both places though. And the reason why I fit in both places because, well, after 40 years of showing dogs, everybody knows me in AKC, so it's okay. So they know me. I'm different. But going home to my own people where I can just be Chester is so much different because then I can cut up. I can't necessarily do it in AKC as much.
Yeah.
Although I was doing it this weekend. I mean, I'm not trying to, that's the differences if you want to balance it. Now, going back again, I'm going back to exhibitors.
You got it.
Understand that you have to present that dog to a judge. It's not the judge's job to make the dog's ears go up. It's not the judge's job to tell you to pull your pants up. It's not because I don't want to see your butt. I want to see the dog's butt.
Yeah, that's true.
We're
That's
talking about
true.
well-formed breeders. You're not. You're. I'm looking at the dog. Jeez.
Okay. No, I mean literally because you know where most people lose because they don't do a good down and back. And the reason why because if I cannot see your dog's rear movement, how can I judge your dog? You can have a pretty stack, but if you don't have a good down and back, you're not gonna win. And I don't mean it that hard, but if you watch Westminster, one of my first mentors in handling said that's what most of the professional handlers lose because they don't do a good down and back.
I like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense because all eyes are on you during the down and back.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
around, you know, you're going to the next dog too, so that makes sense.
Oh, and also going to that, be careful because some judges look back. I'm one of them. So
Yeah.
always have your dog 3/4 ready or whatever because I'm always looking back because I might like something about that dog and I got to look again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have your dog prepared? And I'm not saying you have to have him at a full stack. You don't have to fidget with him to make him stack, but have him loosely stacked so that, oh, I didn't miss anything. You see, that's just a little, that's for the exhibitors.
We
Breeders,
have oh, go ahead.
breeders, please breed better. There's been it's not just me saying it. I've heard some other breeders talk about this. And I was at a show and they were talking about everybody keeps breeding to the same dogs. You're not going to get better if you don't breed better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is the purpose of showing dogs.
Absolutely.
My job as a judge is to help you all decide what next generation is going to be used. Who's going to be used for that
There we go.
next generation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
So
that's
if
100%
Man.
it, Chester. I mean, because that's what I mean, and I've said it. Caleb said it. Bruce said it. This is literally essentially what a dog show is supposed to be. It's a showcasing of the proper breeding stock, and the judge's job is to basically show everybody there that is the standard to which you all should be breeding for your respective breed, right? So
Exactly. But see, here's the thing. People bring dogs in just because I want street cred. I want ribbons. I want a trophy. No. And see, I'm the type that will withhold a ribbon if I think the dog lacks merit.
Nice.
Because that's the only way anybody's gonna learn.
yeah.
To be honest. And I'm not faulting anybody. I'm just saying that this is what I see as a judge. People keep bringing the same damn dogs out, and they're not doing anything different. Okay, example. I have a lovely Doberman I'm showing right now. Guess what? I got 3 more coming.
Hey.
Nice dogs. It's a matter of what you're bringing out. So if you're going to breed, make sure you're breeding better than what you have. And sometimes, to be honest, and I'm gonna use my Cardigan Corgi mentor. I was at her house earlier this spring. She had a litter of 7 Cardigans. The pick boy was already picked out. There was a nice girl picked out, but she had a problem with two males. One had a proper coat, one had the improper coat. And we were discussing them, and I went over them. Both of them lovely animals, lovely specimens.
Yeah.
The problem is that she was nitpicking, and what she should do. But here's the key: her okay stuff is better than most people's good stuff.
Dang.
Her bar is up here.
I like that.
Yeah.
Where it
Where
should be.
other people, and to be honest, I've almost beaten her with her own dogs. Matter of fact, she doesn't like. Oh, it's hilarious. It really is. But my point being, but the thing is that because she has a bar so high, those two dogs are just nice. She was just fussing because her standards are high. That's what every breeder should
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Because what you started out with as a breeder that was good, ain't no good no more. You need to better it. Every time you do something, better it. That means go read the pedigrees, which I don't think a lot of people really do. I'm sorry, in the bully world, because they just put two dogs together. Oh, I'm gonna get gold and get shit. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
We don't worry. We don't have scruples when it comes
I
to
apologize.
language.
Or the other side, they could put two ugly dogs together and get gold and not realize how they got it.
Yeah. And if you don't understand
Did you
how that happened, the mechanics of it, to try to recreate it or to make it continue to
There
be
you
better,
go.
you have no idea what you're doing because you had no idea how
But-
you got that in the first place. So yeah, I get it.
Well, but if you read your pedigree, if you know your lines, and I know you old heads understand what I'm talking about because you all talk about it all the time.
Mhm.
So when we talk about it, and these young ones need to understand it, and they don't want to. Other things, see, the money, street cred, and that's it. And I have that me as a judge, I have a slight problem with that because I have a lot of people. Matter of fact, I was judging, and a young man brought me this lovely dog who had a terrible rear. And I was like, man, your dog's rear is always gonna be the thing that kills him. So you need to breed him to something that has a line that has good rear.
Yeah.
He brought the dog to me again and lost again. And he said, why now? And I said the same thing the last time. You didn't get the lesson the first time. Let me give you the lesson again. So my point basically is now if he breeds that dog to something that line that has a nice rear, he got something special because the dog was really
Yeah.
nice. He had really good movement, but that rear is killing him. It looked like a Frenchie, and it was an exotic bully. And it's supposed to move like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, but my point basically is breeders and exhibitors, because this is both y'all, just because you think that's it might not be what you think it is. Be very stringent on what you're evaluating when you bring dogs to the ring. And the other exhibitors, there's one thing. I'm sorry if I know everybody exhibits, but this is for the new people or for people who just show dogs. Bring your dogs out when they're ready to win. Do not bring them out when they're not ready to win. You save yourself a whole lot of money and a whole lot of heartache.
I like that, Chester, but I want to interrupt you because I have a question on that.
Go ahead.
So how do you get your dogs ready for the ring if you're just bringing them out when they're ready? Like, how do you get them ready?
Oh, no. I have a solution for that, too. You know that 5 minutes of homework I told you about? That gets them ready for the ring. Now, if you want to, now what I did, I'm going to use Omen as an example. What I did with Omen, I brought him out to one show. I built him up to 2 shows. I built him up to 3 shows. And then he was ready to win.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
his owner wanted to bring him out and just show him. And I'm like, no, we're going to do it this way. Because you can either pay me $10,000 for nothing, or you can pay me $5,000 for a champion. He has 2 championships, 2 best in shows, a few reserve best in shows, and he has 1 more. And USBR, he has to just finish his majors. Then he'll have 3 He'll have 3 championships. Then he's transitioning to AKC. That's how you prepare your dog.
Oh yeah.
I like
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah. We
I like it.
have a couple. Yeah. I have a couple of people saying that they, take it to places where there's large crowds, social events. I took them to Lowe's to get them used to all the
Take them
sensory.
to YOLO,
Mhm.
Petco, all of that. And bring them to a show. Go to an AKC. Well, I can't tell you go to an AKC, the wrong thing. But you have my point.
Reverse.
Yeah, I know, but hey, look, I'm the type that I show so many odd breeds. Nobody would be surprised if I walked in with a bully, just to socialize. But
See,
me.
and that's what I want to hit
That's
on,
me.
the socialization
You
of
get
it,
some
because
interesting
a
looks like,
show is so
who's
much
that?
different than Petco, than Lowe's, than Home Depot. Like, you are center of the ring. You are on stage. Your dog's going to have stage fright to a degree if you don't get him out there, and that's why I wanted to hit on that question.
No, I'm not. I agree with you. But see, this is where the community can help themselves. Have a get together of a bunch of dogs.
Yeah,
Y'all have barbecues, right? Hey, we're
absolutely.
having a barbecue. Bring your
Yeah,
dogs.
meet and greets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go to the park, because there's a whole lot of people. Hopefully, like where I'm from in Boston, I live right across the street from the park. My first dog, I went in the park, worked with him, and people can I pat your dog? Sure, have at it. Matter of fact, take the lead, take them around.
Wow.
People were scared of dogs. That people weren't scared after I finished with them because they understood what dogs should be. But that's what I'm talking about.
And Chester, I wish that people would get back to more meet and greets. You
Yeah.
know, Eddie, I see you putting on there,
I
because
would
everyone's
think-
hunting that ribbon. Everyone's hunting that trophy instead of getting your dog ready for when it actually comes out. And that's why I really wanted to hit on that, because where are the meet and greets? Where are the barbecues? Where are those taking place? Because they're so far and few between. Because now everyone wants that title.
The hell with the title? Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, don't
because
apologize. I'm with you.
The title's not important. All that is man's ego.
Yeah.
So let's go to it. All right, that's man's ego. But if you are breeding to better the breed, you're not going to worry about that ribbon. All I care about is get my dog ready. Whatever that works is for you. If it means that I have to take my dog to Lowe's 100 million times and have 100 million people touch him, fine. If it means I have to stack my dog at Petco just to get him used to the idea that you have to do, this is what I'm teaching you, that's what matters. Now, as you was asking before, don't go to every ICBR, US, all the shows. Go to, just pick and choose. Spend your money wisely. All right, let me explain it. One way I can explain it, I used to show Azawar. I had the number 1 and number 2 dogs in the country.
Wow.
Or the second and third. I can't remember what the
Regardless,
rankings were.
the fact that
That's
it's
not
even up there in the single digits is impressive. There's components.
Oh, but my point, but my point basically, I'm sorry. Yeah, now you gotta be laughing. But my point is, I did not go to every show.
Yeah.
I went to the ones I think I want. Like, I love Tennessee. I went to all the Tennessee shows, and it was like 6 of them. I did certain shows in Virginia. I went to those shows.
Okay.
And then I might take a month or 2 off.
Yeah.
Now, I have a little secret behind that. The 2 Azawaks never went to any kind of classes or anything. I just put them in the ring, and they did. Nobody will ever know it, because they were like, how do you get your dogs to show? I'm like, I never took them to a class. I never took them to a formal class. I just put them in the ring. That's how they got their ring experience.
Baptism by fire.
Those are those specific dogs, and not every dog is made like that. Also, keep in mind, not every dog is made to be shown. Some dogs do not like the ring. Do not force the dog in the ring.
Say it one more time.
What happens?
Say it one more time.
Say what I just said again?
Not force the dog in the ring.
Yeah.
Yes, do not force it, because the dog doesn't like it. Why are you gonna do? You're wasting money. Not only you wasting money, you're gonna be frustrated, and then you want to kill the dog, and it's not the dog's fault.
That's so true.
So my thing is this: understand the game, play it again according to your rules and morals, according to the standard and within the rules of the registries you're showing in, and then make a decision what's good for you. I like the idea of meet and greets. I like the idea of putting a match together, which all the registries can do. All they have to do is put a match. We're just having a fun match. You can have a fun show, you can have a fun match. Same thing. And doesn't even have to involve ribbons. Because people get competitive when at a match, all you're trying to do is give your dog time out.
Yeah.
That's what we do with puppies.
Yeah,
In AKC,
I like that.
if you notice, in AKC they have what is called B-Pup, which is puppies from 4 to
Mhm.
6. That's when they get their ring training.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet that's entertaining.
Now, what's interesting about that, I met a couple who got Staffy Bull. They started 4 to 6. Now the boy's got he's 7 months old and he needs a major to finish
Wow.
Nice.
Dang.
because he
Impressive.
was. But
Now, just
the thing is that B-Pup helped out a whole
Mhm.
lot because this is their first dog that they ever showed.
Hell of a start.
Because they did the work,
right.
and I sent them home with homework too. But that's just it. If people would come together and not try to be adversarial all the time, and let's just come together as a community. Let's have a fun show match, and just let's go.
Absolutely, definitely. Now, for anybody that there's any kind of confusion with when he says Staffy Bull, he's talking about a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, a Staffordshire like
Thank
an staff, and a
I was
Staffordshire Bull.
give it to clarify that. Thank you, because I also do
Yeah.
AM staffs too, so
Yeah,
it's
like,
American
it's one
Staffordshire.
of those things where, like down here in Alabama, I think I've maybe seen two
Okay.
Staffordshire Bull Terriers, and so I can identify them because I know what they are. But there was a lot of people that would see them at the shows and be like, what is that? Is that like a pocket, like a class? What is that? It's like that's a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. They don't.
But
Yeah.
when I hear something really crazy, if everybody looked at the Staffy Bull,
Mhm.
looked at the American Staffordshire Terrier, looked at the Bulldogs,
Pit
all
Bull,
the bullies
yeah,
are very
well,
much related to
Mhm.
them. All the bullies are very much related to them.
Yeah.
It should be
you should be able,
structured like
yeah,
them.
you should be able to
Bone wise.
recognize it. Absolutely, definitely.
So and that's how I'm able to judge bullies because I understand the structure. I keep telling people ask me, well, you're not a breeder. I don't have to be. Do you know what? Do you understand anatomy and physiology? I do.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No,
Because
I'm here for it.
as I said, all it is understanding the nuances. That's it. Now, I'm sorry for those who breed fluffies and all the other stuff. I have a slight issue. I can judge them. I do judge them fairly, but I also know, that's just me. So I know there's a few things going on within the community that I'm not on board with. I'm not gonna talk about that here, Bruce. You sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think to a degree, a lot of us, and me especially, a breed purist. Like, it's one of those things that it took a long time for me to kind of wrap my head around things like Merles or, exotics and micros, and like it takes a second because I'm a breed purist, very similarly so. So it's like when you start throwing in these what would be considered drastic changes in my mind, I'm like, like it takes me a second.
I will give the exotic Frenchie people kudos because they're trying to better what they have,
Mhm.
and you can see them doing it.
Yeah.
But they're also able to use the standard French Bulldog to better what they have. Everybody else doesn't have that latitude. Now, I'm going to use one example. ABKC is having an issue with Merles coming into having being accepted. I can see their point. I understand their point. I respect it highly. But I also, after talking to some people, Merles were never in any bully. So why would you input something that's unhealthy for a dog into and then show it? Now I understand about innovation and all that other stuff, but if it's not natural, I don't want to be bothered with it. That's
Yeah.
just my humble opinion. Now, with that being said, Chinese cresteds, Zolos, Zolo Esquisias, Inca orchids, those are all hairless breeds, naturally.
Mhm.
But you have to understand the DNA of that and what the gene is, which is the it's the FOX13 gene.
Mhm. And it's been there
These
for
people try to
millennia.
produce that. Do you all know what that
Yeah.
means?
I don't.
Thing, same thing with the PME, I said PMEL 17, which is the Merle gene. Do you all know what you're doing with that? Because
Not breeding it to itself, I guess, is very that first step.
so unless you understand that, then don't mess
Right.
with it. Now, and and see, for me, I'm a little different because I also have a couple of geneticists that I talk to frequently. Matter of fact, I have a paper that one of them shared with me, which I'll make available at some point. Because I talked to her this weekend and told her what about a certain subject. I'm not going there, Bruce, not right now.
I already know what you.
And and she said, the same thing I did. That's gonna lessen the dog. But I have a geneticist. I have two of them. So I'm not talking out my hind parts when I say certain things, because if I need, I just go right to Tracy. I go to Charlotte. Hey, look, this is what's going on. What do you think? Well, bring your dogs and we can do some DNA testing.
Mm-hmm.
But I have that latitude. How many in the community are doing their research? If you do your research, that's fine. Now, there are man-made breeds within AKC. I'll use the Doberman, the Chinook, and the Beaver Terrier are three of them that there's more than that. But there are three. I'll use those three. Those are man-made, but it took generations for them to be perfected.
Right.
So people have to understand, if you're going to make these man-made breeds, you got lots of many, many moons before you can even think about having them recognized.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Very well put.
But see, but see, everybody's looking at the money portion, and I'm like, nah, it's not about money. Now we're talking science. We're talking innovation. We're talking about a lot of different things. But you all aren't prepared for what's coming because you're not willing to do the work. And unless you've done the research, it goes back to what I was saying either. Breeders do better breeding. If dog shows are to help breeders better their lines, exhibitors understand how to better their lines, then you have to abide by the same rules. But that's my humble opinion. And then then it goes on from there, because for me, when I'm looking at exotics or when I'm looking at any dog, actually, I throw out the color. I really do. Unless it's a fluffy, then I have another problem. But that's neither here nor there. I gotta close my eyes some days and take a deep breath. And I'm sorry for those who have fluffies. Well, because like I tell people, when they a friend of mine, matter of fact, we were having this conversation, and she said she's a judge. Her breed is bloodhounds. She said, I said to people 10 years ago, the reason why the market is for these doodles is because you all are not doing your job being welcoming to these people.
Oh,
That's why doodles came about.
dang.
I don't care what doodle it is. And she was, I'm like, thank you. And she's one of my supporters. I mean, she's, if I ask her to do something, or if I ask her to come help me with something, she'll do it. But again, we have to think about it that way.
Hey.
Now, this is for breeders especially. If you have a young person or anybody who's willing to learn, take the time to mentor them. Mentor them the right way.
I like that. Come on.
Allow them to grow, but mentor them the right way. Because if you're doing it wrong, they're going to do it wrong.
Yep.
But if you're doing it right, 9 times out of 10, they'll do it right. There are no shortcuts of being good. There are no shortcuts to be successful. There are no shortcuts in order to exhibit dogs in this particular game. There are none. You have to do the work. If you don't do the work, it's not even worth your time doing it. Spend your money on something else. Go out and get high if you want. I don't care.
Come on,
Get
Chef.
some more alcohol. I don't care.
You're talking.
So
go home, but you can't stay here.
But my point basically is, if we teach them the right way, just like me, I'm teaching people how to handle the right way. How do you stack your dog the right way? How to present your dog the right way. Now there are some wrongs, but you need to know the right way before you do the wrong. Very simple. Breeding is all accident. It's a crapshoot. But if you have good dogs, sell your good dogs to those who deserve and want to learn. Because if you sell them crappy dogs and they keep losing, they're going to get turned off.
Mhm.
Facts.
So, I mean, that's just my humble opinion on that. But I'm spoiled. And what I didn't say earlier, I have 4 people I should really thank for where I'm at today. First person is Carol Finelli. She helped me. She showed Borzois for one of my cousins. She took me to the dog shows and she helped me with my first dog, which was an Airedale. But I'm very fortunate because I had 3 black people. 3. First person, her name is Cheryl Black. She is a white woman who might as well have been black in her because that's how her spirit was. I mean, I thought I was talking to my mom at times, talking to her, but she gave everything to me. She taught me everything. I could walk in her house at any given time. It didn't matter. We'd sit down and talk dogs. I even walked in on one day and she was whelping a litter and she just passed me a puppy. I had my girlfriend with me. And my girlfriend and her husband sat down while we were whelping puppies. I'm sitting up there, okay.
Oh man!
Walk in that woman's house. Apparently, she'll just hand you puppies. I mean, not that I'm here for
Hey,
it. That's great.
right.
That's great therapy.
I learned. That's when I learned that whelping's not for me. I'm good.
So messy. Yes, yes. It's messy
I
and
met
it's loud.
my Afghan hound breeder, Robert Godfrey. He gave me his best dog.
That's nice.
If he were living today, he'd be number 1. He was that good a dog.
Did you?
But Robert taught me about pedigrees. He taught me about asking the right questions. He taught me how to win graciously, how to lose graciously. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Bill Burrell was my first handling instructor. He taught me how to handle dogs. He also taught me this. He said, "Boy," I'm like, "You know my father, what you call me boy for?" So anyway, he said, "Boy, you're never going to win Miss Westminster. You might win a smaller show, and that's fine. But one rule I have for you, never let anybody run up on you in the ring. The first time it happens, you just turn around and say, please don't do that again. Second time it happens, you stop in the middle of the ring so that everybody can see it and say, please don't do that again. The third time that they do that, they run up on you, you turn around and show them that you're a nigga. Excuse the language, because that's what he said. Show them where you come from.
Stop.
Yeah.
Mm.
I looked at him and said, Bill. And he said, no, I'm serious. I'm not joking about that. Well, many years later, I had a Tibetan Spaniel in the ring. And Diego Garcia had the number one dog overall. She was the number 1 bitch, everything. And the judge came and made a cut. Judge said, sir, bring your bitch out here. It was me, not Diego. Diego started trying to step on my dog. He was pissed. So I turned the dog around so that the dog I'm sorry, hold on a second. So that the dog my dog was in front of me and he was in my back.
Mm-hmm.
I know Diego quite well, but that's where I lost respect for him.
Yeah.
Dang.
Because if he had stepped on my dog, there'd have been an ass kicking, and he ought have been suspended from AKC. There would have been no question about it. Because what most people don't realize, this quiet man here is from Boston, Mass. So I'm from the hood. So there would have been that. but the other part of that, now going back to what I said earlier, when you're handling your dog, understand what you're handling. Understand it's a show. Understand that, like if you see Chester Roses on the judging, you better know. I better show for that man, because I know I ain't gonna. If it ain't, he's not engaged, I'm not gonna do well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because the trick of handling is what can you do differently than everybody else does.
Right.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I can freestack. I freestack open. Not everybody can do that. I can freestack almost any dog as long as I have the time. As long if they'll. That's the other thing. Let the dog teach you what it can do.
I love that.
Okay.
Now I have a picture where y'all see Gruff, the first Doberman I showed.
Mm-hmm.
He freestacked.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't teach him that. He taught me.
There we go. I can dig it.
And that happened right in the ring. I said, "Oh, you can do that? Oh, shoot, that was a mistake." So now,
I got step on my.
so as soon as I know that, as soon as I just put my hands up and he stacks for me. That's pretty.
Nice.
Also, the judge, who does the judge see? Judge don't see me because the handler's far away. All he can see is the dog.
Right. Just stacking beautifully.
Just do that. But again, that's that connection with the dog and understanding what your dog can do. And you have to know your dog's limitations, and you have to know your dog's faults. If you have a dog with a turbo rear, there's ways of getting around that. But I can't tell you that here. That's my secret.
Okay. No, that's cool. Well, we do have a question. Adam,
Go ahead.
one of our frequent viewers, he's asking how you feel about when people, like when they do that, they do that final stack or that finishing stack, and then they drop the lead. How do you feel about that practice?
Hold the damn lead, because if it's a Doberman or an Azawak, I'm getting bit. No, thank you.
I felt like that was going to be the answer, but deep down I was like, no, I need you to say it, because you're going to say it way, way better than I would.
Way.
Okay. There are certain breeds. Okay. There are certain breeds that when they're being shown or examined, the handler actually takes the lead off and then puts it on. That's mostly your sporting group. If you ever get the chance, watch the sporting group on YouTube. You'll see a lot of the, especially if you go to the breed stuff on YouTube for Westminster, you see them take the lead off the dog's neck, put it on their arm, and let the judge go over the dog. As soon as the judge finishes examining the dog, puts the lead back on.
Yep.
If you want to, how can I put it? If you want flair, hold that daggone lead, step away from your dog.
Yeah.
And the reason why you have to hold that lead is because it's control. I'm sorry, and I'm not. The thing is that all right, my Dobermans, both the Dobermans that I show, they are very protective of me. It would be very irresponsible for me to drop my lead knowing they're protective. If somebody decided to walk up to me, if the judge walked to me the wrong way, and that dog has a hair across its ass, and I don't have control over it, what happens?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's being real. And I mean, there's a lot of breeds that are like that, and we have to be careful with that. So always keep your lead in your hand. If that's how I do it, because I pick up the damn lead. You ain't doing nothing pretty. I'm sorry.
I'm not impressed. Not impressed. But I love that. No, I really, I mean, there's been several times and several shows, and I'm sure the Bruce and Theo can all attest to this on their own part. But like, yeah, there's been a couple times where it's like, there's been instances where dogs will like kind of snap at the judge, or they'll snap at another dog, and you're sitting there thinking like, control your animal, and you're like just thinking to yourself, what happens if you're trying to control a dog that like you're not ready for, you're not prepared to control. I mean,
exactly. But sorry to cut across you, but and the other problem is that most people don't know how to handle the dogs in the first place.
Yeah.
They don't have control. They expect their dogs to do whatever, and they have no flipping idea what they're doing. So that's how I see it. But nah, I mean that's something that's key to me. If you have, and whoever asked that question, anytime you see me, just don't hesitate. Come ask, come talk, because as you can see, I don't mind talking. Well, I'm going to tell a story. Bruce and I were at the ICBR Nationals, and he and I were talking about many things. And when he asked me to do this, I said, "What do you want me to talk about?" And I kept on talking about something else, and something else. And he just looked at me like, "Yeah, I can talk for a minute." But what happened was two young men that I've been watching for a little while. They have French bulldogs, Kelly and Tristan. They came out and they were talking, and they said they were talking to a young brother and said, "If you want a mentor, Chester's the one you want because he's helped us." I'm embarrassed by it. I'm humbled by it, and I'm honored by it because all I did was give them what someone gave me, no more, no less. But to watch how they have progressed in the last year, 2 years, they used to be the ones wearing their pants down around their hind parts. What those two brothers do to me this year? They had suits on. Bruce, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. You sorry.
Yeah. Sure did.
So this is their words, not mine. So I'm humbled by it all. But this is what we should be. This kind of stuff is what we should be talking about. How do we get better? And one of the things that I'm always yelling about, time wise, we need to get better show wise time. Because I'm sorry, I have an 8 o'clock ring time on Saturday. I better be there by 7:45. I'll be done by 8:15, 8:20, because dogs are done.
Mhm.
We have to get better at that. Exhibitors, you have to be better about listening when your number is called. Don't have the rep calling you 4 and 5 times,
Yeah.
because in AKC you get 3 shots at it, and then you lose your money.
Yep.
And you can't be upset if
Donation.
you lose your money because you're not
Yep.
there. Other thing is, X your dogs, clean up after your dogs.
Yes, please.
Because we can lose venues because we don't take care of their
Yes.
property.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's our property at that for that moment that we're renting, but if we take care of it, they'll invite us back.
Yep.
What else? I mean, it's the little things that really matter. And a lot of, like, some people don't care about the little things, but the little things will save a whole lot of issues.
Yeah.
And help us, and it would help the judge, because I hate being at a show judging for 3 hours when I could have been done in an hour.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's real.
So that's for the exhibitors. I can't do anything about the registries because I don't have that power yet, but one day I will. I'm joking.
No, don't joke
But
about that. I think it's. I mean, I know that it's kind of it can be a touchy subject. I mean, you've got people that that I know host wise, that they. I mean, it's starting at the time that they say they don't care. They don't care if you didn't make it in time to get into show one. They don't care if you missed the first show because they're starting on time. Period. Like, so there's some of those folks that I really obviously appreciate them, but there is a history of that, and it's one of those things where, like, there's even times when friends of mine have showed up like half an hour late, and they're like, oh well, I knew the show wouldn't start on time anyway, so I knew I'd still be early. And I'm like, oh my god,
well,
you don't want to develop that reputation. Oh my god.
no. Well, see, here's the other side of that. I'm always in everybody's ear about that, because I'm a time person. So if you tell me 12, I better be starting at 12. That's just how I am. But with that being said, what many registries don't realize right now, they have an opportunity to upset AKC, because there are people in AKC that are looking for other venues to go show. But because our venue is not, our registries aren't clean or aren't organized enough, I can't suggest them to come.
Hey,
They want to come. Trust me. I have people upset by the ribbons I have or the ribbons that they've seen. They're like, I want one of them. Well, you can get one, but you got to come to the show. But just be prepared. You're gonna be there for a while. Be prepared to get a contact too.
Oh my
So,
God.
Yeah.
well, I'm sorry. I'm very real about. I mean, I tell them I have to tell them the truth.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, your candor is very refreshing. Obviously, I mean, we all have very very similar experiences. Where it's like, God, why? What time is it? Why are we still here?
Yeah, exactly. People, if you ever see me, I'm sitting down on a my dog's on a downstay. I got my arms crossed and I'm watching the ring and I'm just like, why? And even me as a judge, I have to be a little bit faster. But sometimes y'all take so long. I'm just like, hurry up, damn it, get in the ring. Thank you. It's not like haven't done it before, and it's the same people doing the same thing. And some of them are professional. I'm sorry, I'm about ready to say. Bad boy. Woo. You have some professional handlers that take their time about stuff and think everybody, the world revolves around them, and it doesn't. That's my humble opinion. But one thing I want to say, and don't take it the wrong way, professional handler, all breed means just that. I can go from AKC to ICBR, GCR, ABKC, and USBR and show all the dogs. Some people who call themselves professional handlers are not. There is a difference. And for those exhibitors looking for a professional handler, know what you're paying for. And the reason why I say it that way is a lot of people say handlers win all the time. Yeah, because I'm better prepared than you are. I show a lot of dogs. I'm dressed better than you are. I'm the whole package. If you ain't coming out like me, no. It's the most critical thing is your presentation, what you look like. How do you handle yourself? How do you handle your dogs? There goes again that 5 minutes that you need to work with your dog. Kelly and Tristan are a good example of that because I have pictures. I think there's some pictures of their early times. I can tell you what they look like. Now I can't say nothing to them. I mean, I do, but I'm still encouraging them. I'm still pushing them. But those are things that we really need to look at. Our juniors, we need to teach them too what's proper and what's correct. A lot of people don't understand. You have these young children with these big bully dogs that they can't handle. Get them a small dog. I mean, get them a foo-foo dog. I don't care. I got a Tibetan Spaniel. If she's there, you can borrow her. She's 12 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, because you want your child to be. You want the kid. Excuse me a second. You want the kids to be successful. Come here, Paige. They can't be successful if they're having a big dog drag them around and dad and mom have to walk around with them to make sure that the dogs are.
Behaving.
Come here, Paige. Come here. Thank you. This is my foo-foo dog. She's 12-year-old Tibetan Spaniel. Champion. But my point basically is, if you want your child to show dogs, help them be successful. Get them a small dog, not something that's big and clunky that they can't handle. And then you're wondering how come you have too many parents sitting up there pushing their kids, and you're pushing them too hard to do something that they can't do. So we have to do better with that. And again, going back to that, how do you prepare a dog for a show?
Mm-hmm.
That's just how you prepare a child for a show. Same thing. Have them go to a match or have an all-child match or something like that. Just an idea. I mean, I'm really about the kids because I love the
Mhm.
kids. I love watching them. I enjoy all of that because they're our future.
Yo.
So
Sure.
anyway, does anybody have any questions of me? I'm sorry, I ran my mouth long enough.
Well, Adam was asking if
No,
you had
well,
any
see,
pets. He was asking if you had any pets, but you just showed us your 12-year-old Tibetan Spaniel, so I'm assuming she's a pet at the moment.
yeah, she's a pet. She's definitely a pet. She's spoiled rotten.
Oh, is there any other way? I mean,
Yeah, you're
for your,
right.
for your
But
pet. I mean, obviously, show dogs, you still the way you spoil them is a little bit different.
nope. Because here's now that's the other
Mhm.
thing. My dogs are pets that happen to be shown. Just because they have CH in front of their name does not make them any less of a pet. They're always pets first. They're never show dogs. Show dogs are dogs that are companion, that have money backing them. You know, like the ones that you see on like in Canine Chronicle, which is a magazine, trade magazine for AKC. The dogs that you see on TV, many of them are those are show dogs because that's all they do. They're not pets.
Gotcha.
There's a difference. Now, if someone wants to back any of the dogs I'm showing, hey, he's still going to be a pet though. But trust me, but Omen is a pet first. He's a service dog. That, that's his job. But but he has champion in front of his name. But he's a pet. That's where I think that a lot of people get it twisted because you all want the title, but not understanding that at the end of the day, that dog, win or lose, this is my champion,
Yeah,
my best in
I
show,
love that.
and she sleeps in my bed. Many of the dogs that are shown outside in the bully world, where do they keep them? Out in the yard in a pen. What personal time do they ever get? Even when I had 5 dogs, my dogs slept in 3 of them slept in the bed, 2 slept in the crate. That's what a pet is to me. But just because they have CH in front of their names, they're still pets.
Oh,
And I think that's the one thing that I wish everybody. I've gone to a few people's yards, and I just scratch my head. I'm like, you have too many dogs. You can't give them personalized time, and you're gonna expect them to do what?
yeah.
No wonder they don't show like shit.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. No,
I mean I mean it all goes to the same thing. If you want, you have to put the work in. You have to give them individual time. There's things that you have to do. How many of us are willing to do that? Or are we really looking at the money we make? Or
right.
are we looking for street cred? Or I mean what what I do with all my clients or people in general, what's your goal? If I give a seminar, that's what one of my first questions is going to be. What's your goal? Now, what's your goal? Your goal could there's many different parts. First goal, I just want a ribbon. Great, I can get you there. I want to finish a dog. Great, I can get
Right.
you there. I want to campaign my dog. Great, I can get you there. I want a best in show. Good, I can get you there. But at least you have a goal. How many people have goals?
Right.
And that's real because my next dog for AKC, my goal is to go #1 in that breed, whatever it is. I might not get there, but that's my goal.
Gotta
I
have
was offered an Azawak from the top kennel in the country, and the only reason why I'm not taking the dog is because at #1 Azawak right now, it would be too much of a conflict, and I don't draw no quarters. I don't care who's in the ring. I'm beating your ass. That's just how I feel.
I love that.
Well, no, they know. They automatically know. Like I said, my Karen Corgi mentor, she's like, I already know what's coming. I know what's gonna happen. And just to highlight the story, Galinda was a 6-month old puppy. She was winner's bitch. at a show, and Kathy asked me to handle her for breed. I said sure. So I handled her, and the judge told me, please put that bitch on the table. I'm like, that's unusual. Okay, put the bitch on the table. The judge goes back over the dog and says, sir, give me it down the back. Thank you very much. And it makes me go around to the end. And the next thing I know, I get pulled up in front. Please, sir, bring that 6 months, bring the winner's bitch up to the front. I beat nationally ranked champions that day, including Kathy. Fast forward, maybe at the end of that same year, Galinda lost in sweepstakes, and Kathy was having a hissy fit. Well, the judge told her in the first place I should be the one handling her dog because I know how to make her move.
Yeah.
So Galinda goes win his bitch. And so I said, well, I got to go to work. So Kathy and I were having a conversation. I told her, I'm going to breed with this bitch today. You're not. She said, you better not. I said, why? My veteran has to win. No, I'm beating you with your bitch. And we're having this big debate and this argument.
Wow.
So, and then I excuse myself and, we go in. Well, so happens, judge calls out her veteran male and 2 other specials. They go around, judge says, thank you. Sir, bring the winner's bitch out, please. Yes, and took 2 other bitches out. I'm okay, 2 other special bitches out, and I'm like, okay, ma'am, where do you want me to go? Because she didn't tell me where she wanted me. Go to the front, please. Oh hell, shoot, I'm going to the front. Goes around, goes all the way around, and says, thank you very much. She said she pulled the veteran who Kathy wanted to win, and she pulled out Galinda as best of opposite, best of winners to finish her championship. When Kathy was taking pictures with the judge, the judge told her, I almost put your bitch up over your special, your veteran. Kathy was hot. I said, I do not hire me. Don't ask me to handle your dog if you don't expect to lose.
Yeah. Fair.
Hey, you called me.
Fair.
Like, listen, you called me.
So,
I don't even know.
But
Listen.
that's what exhibitors, that's what the mentality you have to have. Don't worry about who's in the ring. Don't worry about what professional handlers in the ring. I can kick your ass with my dog. That's the kind of confidence you have to have.
Even if it's really your dog, I'm still going to kick your ass with it.
Hey, no, exactly. Well, see, I also understand. When I go in the ring, I'm up against some of the top handlers in the country all the time. And they don't necessarily like seeing me in their ring because they know they have the potential of losing.
Yep.
Matter of fact, they work that much harder because I'm in the ring.
Good. Yeah. Well, we've actually had this conversation. I think it was with Hannah, and actually we also mentioned it again with Nikki Lynn. It's just like that's kind of an ante up, really, is because like if you see somebody that's getting into the same ring you are, and like you have that shit moment, like in all reality, that should ante up.
To be honest, know what I have fun? As soon as I step in any of the shows, where's the Doberman at? That's the first thing they do. They start looking. I'm laughing at them because I'm like, I'm not gonna necessarily win, y'all, but there's that threat. There's that fear. I have a few professional handlers that aren't too happy when they see me, and I'm just like, oh damn, he's here. That's not my fault, but but
out there getting in people's heads. I see you.
Hey, look, I'm in. Hey, look, you better hope I don't get an Afghan, y'all.
Oh God!
Because it's a wrap.
I have not seen an Afghan hound in years. There's a Borzoi that lives locally in Birmingham. Beautiful animal, but you can tell that she's older now, so she's no longer in the ring.
I got a young lady in South Carolina. I got one in Maryland. Both of them have non-Borzois as well.
Oh, yeah.
I can pull up with almost any dog. I just hope the judges do their research.
Yes,
do their homework.
Familiarize themselves with the breed standard. Yeah, and that's one thing that I do like. There's like ICBR. There's a lot of the judges that like if they know in advance that there's going to be a breed there that they're not familiar with,
their homework.
They'll do their research. They'll familiarize themselves with how it's supposed to move, how it's supposed to be assembled, and just like so that way they're more confident that they can judge it in a ring. So that's
I have to give the judge credit because one day I went to a show and they saw Paige, and they thought I was going to show Paige, and he came back after me. I thought you were going to bring your Tibetan to show to me today. I went and read the standard on him. Kudos to that brother,
That's what's
because he went and did this. That's what you're supposed to do.
mm-hmm.
And even for me, when I'm judging, I reread all the standards. I should say, I reread all the bully standards because I need to. But for all the for the AKC dogs, I'm pretty much solid on
Yeah.
them. But for bullies, I have to do a little bit more because I'm not a bully person per se, but I understand what I'm looking at, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna know every standard. You can't. It's impossible. Even all breed judges who have all the groups don't know every breed.
Right.
We can only go but so far as that's concerned. As long as you have a common knowledge of understanding the anatomy and the physiology of a dog and understanding the job of the dog, you're in good shape. Like non-sporting, you have an idea what they're doing. Hounds, you have an idea what they're doing. Working, you have an idea. Toys, they're just foo-foo dogs, so you just treat them that way. Except certain,
Well, and a lot
except
of them are bred using the same stock, or they originate from the same kind of
well,
dog. So it's
actually,
sort of like a lot of them move very similarly. Like,
yes, they do. Well, there's an interesting thing that I didn't know about. French bulldogs were actually ratters.
doesn't shock me.
Didn't know that.
Doesn't shock
It's
me.
very interesting. As a matter of fact, the reason what they did was for the women who were doing lace, they would sit in the lap keeping the women warm, and then they were also ratters. And I had the picture that was recently shared with people of one of the French bulldog breeders that I know. He had an antique picture. The French bulldog looks nothing like that today.
Oh yeah, like
They had a,
circa
they had
1902. You're just like that. That doesn't quite
yeah,
look the same.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, because they actually had a full face,
Yeah,
which was very
there is very
interesting.
Boston, like a little bit like heavier than
But,
Boston muzzle. Yeah.
Boston, yeah, exactly. But how many people know that? Now, and I'm a historian, which is good for me, not good for everybody else. Well, because I like history. If
Yeah.
you know dogs, if you understand dogs, you understand history, basically. Now, I have a quiz for you all. What are the three landrace dogs breeds of Africa?
The three what?
Land race breeds
Land
in
race?
Africa.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna phone a friend, Amanda. Amanda.
So like dogs in Africa that are used for what now?
The three land race tribes of Africa.
Amanda, don't let me down. If I put all my marbles on you.
Oh no. Okay. So breeds of dogs though, right?
Okay. Two of them I show. One of them I don't.
Okay. Well, I mean, gosh, I know as far as dogs are old, dogs that are so like I'm thinking of all of these African breeds of dogs that are just ancient as all get out. I mean, you've got the Pharaoh
Right.
Hound, you've got the
Right.
Basenji.
Right. Nope.
No. That's fair.
If you look, okay, I'll tell you what they are because that was mean. One of them is the Azawak.
Yeah.
One of them is the Azawak.
I mean, you're so mean.
One of them is the Azawak. They're from Western Africa.
See, that's funny because that was my third guess because
the Saluki is the second one.
Which
They're
one?
from the Middle East. Saluki.
The Saluki. God dang it. I wouldn't have guessed it.
And the Slugi is from Western Africa. And the reason why they're considered land race dogs is because man had nothing to do with their breeding.
Dang.
Yep.
So
and those dogs. They've just old. They've been around for a long time. I know. I know, Alberta. I I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
Alberta,
Well, I just
come on, because I didn't guess the Hasselhoff.
No,
I'm
Amanda,
sorry.
I am very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. I just want to say.
that's not
Okay,
right.
now
That's
with that
not fair.
said, though, my man,
Amanda,
I
I got your
did
back on
list
this
2
one.
different breeds of
No,
dogs from Africa that have not been touched. Okay, so listen, I was actually kind of on the right track. Listen, sir.
Oh, that's a good one,
What's
Caleb.
the
That's a
third?
good one.
What's the third, Chester?
Slugi. Slugi's from Northern Africa.
Man.
Slugi. Slouughi. Slugi. And the reason why I know about that is because when I first started looking at I was looking for the Azawak, I was looking for the Slugi, and I met a Azawak breeder. So that's how I got more familiar with the Azawak. But I had to do a lot of research on them because they're a different breed.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, they are the Doberman of Africa. That's what the Azawak is considered.
I love that.
They will bite you in a heartbeat.
There's vicious. Oh God.
No, not vicious.
Chester,
No,
UNCC
they're
Alberta.
made to. Their first job is to protect their village.
Yeah.
That's their job, and they're when they have their humans that they're in love with. That's the only one that's gonna really be able to deal with. That's the only person they bond with, unless they like you. So if they like you and they allow you to pet, you consider yourself blessed. Otherwise, they'd ignore the hell out of you.
Mm.
Now, the Afghan used to be the same way, but because they've been bred so much to be more pets, or I should say less feral, less feral is the right word, less feral. It's a totally different. They're not as primitive as the Azawak is. So it's a lot of that. But that's the thing. If you understand history of dogs, you can understand some of your dogs and where they come from. And then if you look at the history of dogs, like your Mastiff breeds, or your Terriers, it'll help you understand bullies. Like I said earlier, Staffy Bull, Amstaff, Bulldogs are all the same kind of idea of what a bully is. If you look at some of the Mastiffs, it's the same concept. If you look at a Dog de Bordeaux, you can see a XL. You can get an idea what an XL can and can't be. If you look at the Staffy Bull, you can see a pocket. You can see some of the exotics. It's just a matter of what your vision is, and everybody's different. I mean, that's how I see it, and I can't tell. The best way I tell anybody, educate your eye.
Yes.
When you ever see me walking around, if you see me, sometimes I'm just walking around. I'm not saying a word. I'm not talking. I'm just walking around.
Yes.
I'm just looking because I'm educating my eye. What do I like? What don't I like? Oh, that looks like shit. What the hell were they thinking? Um, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I mean, there are things that I go around and look at. There are some nice dogs out there. There are some people who have it, but there
Hey.
are others that there are more that don't have it than those who do have it. I mean, really, because as a judge, I get bored. Y'all bring me the same dogs all the time, the same thing all the time. When are you gonna try and breed something different? My humble opinion, again. And that's why I love when I was in Alabama. I'm up in North Carolina. I see a lot of dogs up here. I see a lot of dogs in South Carolina. We need to be able to travel, get away from the areas that you're comfortable in. And I know it's difficult because I've had this conversation with one of my friends, and I keep forgetting my mindset's totally different. I compete. Wherever there's a dog show, I'm gonna be there. If I think if I had this weekend, I was in Timonium, Maryland, with my Magic, the French Bulldog, and I had a Shih Tzu show this weekend. Next week, I'm down in North Carolina with Omen. But Omen's going to Virginia. He's been to West Friendship already, so he's been out of his area. I've gone as far as Tennessee. I go to Massachusetts, where I'm from. I go to the Midwest, compete. You can't keep beating the same dogs all the time. It gets boring after a while. Just like I get tired of judging all the time, the same dogs all the time, because I see them all the time.
Yeah.
That's why when I go to Alabama, I see something different. If I go to Kentucky, I see something different. If I went to Massachusetts, I see something different. That's the way it should be. And if people want to really show their dogs, if they want to showcase their dogs, that's how you do it. And you can pick and choose what shows you go to. You know, as I tell everybody, you rush to spend your money to go to every show. No, pick, choose, save your money. Sometimes don't go to a show. Hell, just go to the show to watch.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
how else you gonna? The way I see it, sometimes I'm too busy to do anything but work with the dogs I have. I don't have any other time. But if I don't have any responsibilities that day, guess what I can do? I can actually sit down and talk. I can actually sit down and share some stuff. I can actually get some information. I can actually ask questions of things that I don't understand.
Yeah.
So that's another way of looking at it. So and going back to that question earlier, how do you get your dog ready for the ring? That's one way you do it. You don't have to necessarily go to show. Take your dog, walk your dog around, enjoy yourself for the moment, and then call it a day. Then you can leave when you feel like. You have no responsibilities.
I like that. Yes.
So, I mean, that's just I mean, that's one way of doing it. And again, I would encourage judges especially, go to an AKC show. Go and watch how the judges judge. Go and pick a breed. Pick a Staffy Bull, pick Amstaff, pick Bulldogs, pick whatever breed it is. Read the standard, watch what the judge does, and you can actually go ask the judge a question. But you have to wait until after he's done his assignment. If you ask him, if you have time, and ask him a question. That's the only way you're going to learn. But you can also see how it's done. And exhibit is the same thing. If you want to know why a judge does something, wait till afterwards. Don't do it in the middle of my judging, because I will cuss your ass out. I won't. No, I won't. It'll be in my mind. I won't, because in my mind, dumbass, why the hell you asking me that question?
Oh shoot.
But my point basically is, yes, you should know why the judge did something. Or what am I lacking? Or what is the dog lacking? What do I need? Sometimes, like, good example. When I was in Alabama, gentleman was not showing his dog to its fullest potential. So after the show was done, I talked to him and said, look, do this for me. Move your dog down and back, and I helped him change his hand position. And it's like, I never thought about that. He did that. The next show he won because he changed his hand position. Something that nobody ever taught him about. But that's what it's all of. That's my job as a judge. Let me help you. It ain't all about what my thoughts are. Sometimes this is the littlest thing, as I keep saying. The 2 minutes I took to instruct him or to share my knowledge with him, to instruct whatever you want to call it, he learned something from it. And he produced it afterwards. Because nobody else took, a lot of people don't take that kind of time. And I think that as a judge, that's what we should do more of. Also, judges need to talk with judges.
Yes.
Because if I'm making a mistake, please let me know I'm making a mistake. I don't have a problem. I won't take offense. Don't tell me right then and there, because I'll be ready to fight. But if you talk to me afterwards and let me get my mind straight, because you're going to ask me, why did you put that dog up? And I'm like, I didn't like its rear, or I didn't like its head, whatever. But that was the most correct dog. Prove it. And if you can prove it by standard, oh, I missed that. Okay, I might not make that mistake again. Now, for me, I know that I I make dogs work. I don't see it any other way. If you have two good specimens in the ring it's not always that easy. If they both have equal movement, if they have everything equal about them, what's going to be the factor? So sometimes one has a little bit better gait than the other. I need to see that. So sometimes I have to do, like, if you ever see me, I might have two dogs going around, then I might have the dog that was in the back go up in front of the other one and then go back around
Right.
so I can see if I'm missing anything.
Yep.
Then I can make a better decision. But people don't understand that, and it goes back again. Make sure your dog's in condition.
Oh yeah. I will, absolutely. Yeah, we've had
But people
like it.
But people don't understand that, and that's why I try to exhibitors, as I try to explain to y'all, and I'm very to the point. Understand the judge has a lot of things going on in their mind at that time. They have a lot of responsibility. My job before I even think about a show is to read the standard.
Mhm.
I have to review the standard. Second thing is I have to make sure dogs are in the right classes. I also have to make sure that I'm in my right mind. If I don't have coffee, everybody, stay away from me. Just warning you.
Hey, listen, there's something about that. Ooh.
All right. But my
Don't bring
thing is that because we're human and we have feelings too. You don't know what I'm going through at the moment, and I'm judging. Just like I don't know what you're going through, and you're showing. So there are a lot of factors that come into when you judge. So if you have a nice class of dogs, which I really like to have and I have to make a decision. I got 4 dogs. There's only 3 ribbons. I'm sorry, someone's shit out of luck, and nothing I could do about that. I wish I could give a 4th.
Right.
But if I have a class of terrible dogs and I have to close my eyes and make a choice, and I have to say, I'm sorry, I'm withholding ribbons today, you have to deal with that because you brought dogs of lack of quality. Example, up in this area, I'm sorry, I'm saying it, I'm going to the point because I've already had this conversation with Terry. You have people showing chows. Their dogs are ungroomed.
Oh, yeah.
How the hell are you bringing me an ungroomed chow? That is impossible. A, I'm a groomer. B, my mentor, one of my inner circle is a child breeder and judge. So what do you think I know about? So if your dog is not in proper shape, I don't care. I mean, not bathed, not washed, because you know a lot of dogs come in dirty.
Yeah.
Nails not done. These are all detrimental. This is part of your breed standard. Make sure your dogs meet this, fit the standard at the minimum.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
So these are things that, these are little things that people don't really think about. And I know people, I've heard it. I've had people say that their client brought their dog dirty and they're not going to clean it. I'm just like, ugh. Here I have this nice, shiny, bright Doberman, bathed
Yep.
and looking good. And you're bringing this, and I got to touch that.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm good.
Like I gotta inspect this
And,
dog.
yeah, exactly. I mean, these are things little things. I mean, it's the stupidest things that are. Clean dog does wonders. Good nails. That is one of my taboos.
Ah.
Bad nails. I am very anal about nails. I tell people in a heartbeat, take your nails back because they're too long.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's a hound, then you can have long nails because you need them to dig in. Y'all are working dogs. Your nails don't have to be so short. And so, I mean, long.
Right.
So you should be short, and they should be taking them back as far as possible. But again, this is what that's my job as a judge, to help the exhibitor get better. My humble opinion, that's how I approach it. I can't speak for everybody else because, sometimes I wonder, I do really enjoy judging. I know I do. But if you're only there just to pick up a quick little bit of money, then why bother
Right.
doing it?
Right.
So that's just me. Again, it's me. Pretty much. I mean, I got a lot more, but I got to get ready for work.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Oh
No,
yeah.
no,
No,
I don't mean it that way because this is something like if you want a part 2, we can do it
oh,
again.
yeah. Oh, no, definitely. You know, anytime
You
we
always
like, yes,
gonna be able to come
definitely
back
needs to
on.
do the
Yeah.
part 2 for sure. Yeah, definitely welcome back.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I guess with that said, one of the things we really like to do is kind of end things and tailor it off with like for people that are just kind of getting into this, what is your recommendation to all the newbies coming in?
Have fun. If you're not having fun, don't do it. Um, if you're breeding, okay, let's go from the exhibitor portion. Have fun. Don't worry about the ribbons. Just go in there and have fun. Enjoy your dog, because that's the most important thing. Because if you and your dog are a team, you're gonna have so much fun, win or lose. Even if you don't win a ribbon, remember you're always going home with the best dog. Because like I said, Paige is 12 years old sleeping in my bed. I don't have any. There are humans that don't sleep in my bed. So have fun.
Love it.
Second thing, second thing, do the work that you need to do. If someone tells you you need to practice your stack, practice 5 minutes. Practice your down and I'm going to speak to newbies especially. Practice your down and backs, practice your circles, and practice your triangles. Because I'm going to throw that in one day. That's going to mess everybody up. But practice your patterns because that'll help you calm yourself down when you go in the ring. Even more importantly, before you go in the ring, put a mitt in your mouth. It'll calm you down.
Huh. I
And the
know
reason,
yeah.
and the reason being, there's some pheromones that come out of it, and it helps you relax, and the dog can fit the dog can smell it too, which helps them relax too. That's why you see sometimes they use spearmint or to squirt dogs with.
Yeah.
It calms them. It's a calming effect.
I was wondering, yeah, because you do use a peppermint mist.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly,
I
exactly.
didn't know that was the effect. I just know it
Yes,
smells really delicious. Okay.
yes. Oh, it could be I don't care. It could be chocolate. You might like chocolate better. Whatever works for you. That's how I see it.
Hmm.
Do not wrap your lead around your hand. That will get your hand broken. A lot of people you see them wrap the lead around their hands. No. Also, find the right kind of lead and collar for the appropriate lead and collar for your dog. And don't get me wrong, because some of the vendors have some really nice stuff. But when people see my leads, they're like, "Where do you get those from?" I'm like, I go to White Bone or whoever it is at the
Yeah.
moment. Well, if you ever see me, ask me for my bag, and I'll just show you what I have for leads. And everybody's and callers, everybody's like, "Ooh, can we have?" No, I have one lead everybody's been trying to buy, and I'm like, "No, there's only one in the world, and I'll break your fingers if you touch it." Um, oh no, I have a kangaroo. I have a nice kangaroo lead made for me. The reason why it's the only kind in the world because it has an Azawak bead on it. I have the only one in the world, especially made for me.
Nice.
Um, um, find out what works for you, not me, because every lead feels differently in the hand. I prefer nylon leads or kangaroo
Yeah.
leads because it feels better in my hand. The hard nylon leads I don't like because they're uncomfortable in my hand. Other people can use them and that's great. I can't. Um uh watch um watch there's plenty of YouTube information on how to show a dog. Just pop it in there. Let's say you want to learn how to show the how to stack a dog. There's YouTube for that. You can look at what I suggest to all the bully people, my bully clients. Watch Staffy Bulls, Bulldogs, and Rottweilers because they're very similar. How they show those dogs are very similar how they show bullies.
I like it.
You get a feel for it.
Mhm.
Newbies. Ooh, there's a long list. I mean,
We can like that's the thing is like if you're coming on again, we could definitely save some other ones for then if it's
oh no, good. No, I want the newbies to have
I
everything
love
now
it.
because
Cool.
because I'll
Keep
forget
going.
it.
Keep it coming.
Read your pedigree. Read your pedigree. I'm sorry. Read your standard. Read your pedigree. Standard is important because if you understand the standard, then you understand the dog that you have. Ask questions if you're not sure.
I like that.
Um, find a good mentor. Oh Lord, mentor. Oh Lord, a mentor will make the difference in a heartbeat.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm blessed. I got lots of mentors. But my point is, your first mentor is going to be the one that actually forms your mindset.
Yeah.
So you have to have somebody who's willing to teach, but you have to be receptive to their teaching because you don't know everything.
Right.
As long as I've been in dogs, I still don't know. I still go to, I still have mentors. Don't be afraid, and for newbies especially, you might have your dog to show, but work with somebody else's dog because it'll help you learn how to show your own dog. Now, because I show 100 million dogs, different breeds, I can transition. So let's say I'm showing an Afghan. I can transition to a Burger Moscow. I can transition to a Dachshund or Cardigan Corgi.
Yeah.
I just have to remember which dog I'm showing because I've had it that I showed my Afghan at one moment, and my Dachshund came right behind him, and I'm moving my Dachshund like I'm moving my
Right.
Afghan, and the Dachshund looked like, yo, man, I can move, but not like him.
Oh,
And
man.
I'm like, oh
Oh
damn,
yeah. Yeah. That's those long strides are
oh
gonna get
damn, I'm
turned into
sorry,
oxen, man.
oh
That's
damn,
an
I'm sorry. No, but I'm being honest. I'm being real about that. You get you. I have actually gone into the ring with a Doberman and ended up showing a bully, and I had to remember, oh shit, I gotta slow down. I can't move it. I can't move like that.
Oh,
Also, now because even I have my issues, I was moving Omen way too fast. I figured it out. So what I did was I went to I taught a handling class. Omen was with me, and I had one of my handling friends, who's another professional. He and I were talking. I told him what was going on. I said, I know in my mind I'm moving him like a borzoi, and I can't get that out of my mind because I want to run. And he's a big dog. He should run.
yeah.
I figured out I have to walk, not run.
Yeah.
And to help that out, I saw a friend of mine's video, and I'm like, oh my God. Yes, that's it right there. Don't be afraid to take criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to take direction because that's the only way you're going to learn. That's for the, and even as experienced as I am, I get yelled at every once in a while. When I was showing one of Kathy's dogs, I was moving too slow. You move an Afghan, right? Yeah. You move the Cardigan the same way. Oh shit. Okay. I never got yelled at again. But if someone doesn't tell you or teach you these things, learn the right way first. It makes it easier because then you can learn the wrong
There you
ways.
go.
Example, I know how to groom an Afghan. If I teach you to groom an Afghan, it's going to take you 5 hours. I'm going to tell you why it's going to take you 5 hours because you don't know the tricks that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Example, what you do is you wash the Afghan, take them out the tub, put them on a grate with towels underneath them, and put a blow dryer on them. Let them go for 90 minutes. Come back to him. You'll be done in an hour and a half, depending on the coat.
Dang.
But for you, it'll take 5 hours, 6 hours because you don't know those tricks.
Yeah.
All those, and that's what experience. That's what learning the right way first teaches you, as opposed to then we can teach you the tricks or teach you the shortcuts. You learn how to stack your dog, and once you learn how to stack your dog, then we can teach you how to free stack your dog, because you know how to stack your dog,
Mhm.
how to step in front of your dog. So you have to learn. It's all steps. It's all of it. And the last thing for newbies, practice, 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 practice.
Oh, yeah.
Did I say practice? Practice, practice, practice,
Yep.
practice, and even more practice. If you take the 5 minutes out once a day, it could be once a week. I don't care. If you do it, then you get a rote. You'll have everything. It's muscle memory. Like I said, if y'all go out there and play ball, or better yet, the way I broke it down to one brother, you roll up joints. Yeah. How good are you? I'm really good. Well, it's the same damn thing.
Yeah, essentially, it took practice to do it. Experience, absolutely.
It's the same thing because you've done it. So your muscles are. I'm like, it's the same thing. And once you get that down, then the rest of it becomes so easy because I've done it before. You just have to transition it to the ring.
Nice.
And if you happen to see me, you can pull my shirt tail, my coat tail. I'll be more than ready to help you. Just don't do it before I'm going in the ring because I'll cut your head off.
I'm in the zone already. Listen, this
Yeah,
is work.
when I'm ready to work, when I'm getting ready to work and I'm getting ready to go in the ring, that is not the time because I'm focused on what I have to do.
Mhm.
And that's the other thing I would tell them, focus on what you need to do. And again, I can't stress it more. Do not worry about who's in the ring. Don't. If you see me in the ring, just say I'm going to have to kick your ass today. I'm saying, okay, welcome, try it.
You sure can try.
No, but I expect you to.
Mhm.
That's
Oh,
my
absolutely.
job. If I have my mentor in Afghans, I came to he had a class and he was teaching his class how to groom an Afghan and he was doing something on the neck. I told him, no, you don't do it. Don't do it that way. He looked at me like, why? Who are you talking to? Don't do it that way. So he took me aside and he asked me to show him what I was talking about. I showed him on my dog, you do this. Something so simple. He said, I'll be damned. You're teaching them a class for the rest of the day because he was willing to learn something new.
Absolutely.
So, and the other thing too, even if you have a mentor, sometimes you go away from them, and it's not a bad thing. And you need another mentor because what I was taught a long time ago was, if you're the brightest person in the room, you need to get people who are brighter than you and be in that room with them until you outgrow them. And it's nothing wrong that you outgrow them. It's just that you're not, and they're not on the same page anymore. You need more. You need to be fed differently. Like me, I'm one of those that I have to. The more knowledge I have, the more knowledge I'm going to expound. The more knowledge I need. If like if someone said, Chester, I need you to help me breed this litter, or I need you. What are your thought
Right.
process on this litter? I might have questions. The first thing is, all right, I'm going to ask certain questions, and if it doesn't sound right, I'm going to ask one of my breeder friends what they think about
Right.
something, not talking about it specifically because I just don't understand what's going on, or because I need more
Mhm.
knowledge. And this is my last words. I'm sorry. The only thing people can never take away from you is your knowledge.
Yeah.
Because you have the knowledge, they can take your money, they can take your woman, they can take all your material. They can take everything away from you. But if you have the knowledge, they can't take that because you can always regain again because you have the knowledge.
Yeah.
So, and for beginner breeders, sometimes what you think is right is not, and you have to scrap your plans. Do not be afraid to do that because if you think you're doing something right and it's wrong, and you find out that it's wrong, then what are you gonna do? You have to restart. You have to do it again. You have to
Yep.
start somewhere else. You have to figure out what works. Just like you might have a breeding good example. You have two great dogs, you have a breeding, and it comes out looking like shit. There's nothing wrong with either pedigree. It's just that bitch or that dog did not work. Now, you might find a dog that you never thought would have worked, but it works. And you come up with it, but you have to start somewhere to figure it out.
Yeah.
Example, my last one. I have a friend of mine who has Australian cattle dogs.
Mhm.
And she and I have been, she has a breeding that she's planning. And she has an 11-year-old dog that she was not considering. And then I said, because the reason why she's not considering it is because both dogs are big, have big on both sides. And she's afraid that she's going to get a dog that's too big. And I just told her, take them out of the dogs and keep it moving. I still use them.
Yeah.
She didn't think about that. Sometimes you got to think about things outside the box. So sometimes you got to scrap your plans and start all over again. How many breeders in here have?
Yeah.
I hear crickets.
Oh no, there's no. There's definitely a lot
No,
of that.
but I'm being,
There should be if we,
that's being fair.
yeah.
But now, like I tell everybody, y'all better hope I don't get serious about XLs.
Oh, and no, please. But by all means.
They don't want me to do that. Because
Who's
then they're
they?
gonna
Who's
be like,
they?
they're
Because I
gonna be
don't,
like,
don't listen to them. Don't listen to them.
oh no, see, I have a particular breeder that up here. As soon as when I said that, you better hope I don't get serious. He said, "Oh shit, don't do that, please don't do that."
No, I mean,
yeah,
I kind of low key. I'm like, yes, please do.
well, we'll see. I'm not promising. But there's a nice male up here, and if I get my hands on one of his puppies, I might consider it.
Hey, please consider it. Yeah, no, definitely. Because honestly, like, it's one of those things where I feel like the XLs need a little bit more attention as far as like trying to better them. They need a little bit more hyper focus, trying to get them back to where they need to be, and that's going to take people that are going to do it the right way for the right reasons, and
And I agree with that. But see, the other thing too, and see this goes to many things. I'm staying away from that subject, Bruce. I promise. But, well, no, because it's irking the hell out of me. It really is. I'm just gonna say it this way: breed for purpose, not for money.
Mm-hmm.
Breed to better the breed. I don't care what breed it is. I don't care what registry it is. Breed to better your breed. That is why I'm a judge. That is why I even tell my clients, if your dog is not show quality, I will not show that dog. Other handlers would. I will not. I cannot do it morally, and I cannot do it ethically.
there we go.
No, you might see me on a dog because someone grabbed me last minute, and I'm just like, I said okay, but I didn't get the chance to really look at that dog. If I had gotten the chance to look at that dog, I would have said no. But my point is, it's not about money. It's about, I have ethics and morals that I have to go by. Period. I am known for being reputable, and I'm going to keep it that way. I am known for showing good dogs. I'm going to keep it that way. I'm not going to just take a dog in just because I can. I'm not going to, and if you hire me, if anybody ever hired me, this is what I'm about. Because handling by Chester is about, I enjoy handling, I enjoy showing good dogs, but if your dog ain't worth it, or it's not quality, show quality, my job as a handler is to tell you that.
Yeah, that's right.
My job as a handler is to tell you, you might be better using that dog as a brood bitch,
Yeah,
or if
breeding
it's a
definitely,
bitch. If it's a male, don't use him because he's not good. Now, unless you know the pedigree and he has good qualities, that's something totally different. But nobody really knows about that.
Yeah.
They don't do the homework as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
So that's what I think, and that's especially for new breeders. Do not be afraid to make mistakes. Do not be afraid to say I made a mistake. Do not be afraid. Don't think just because you produce something it is the greatest shit on earth. It's not.
There we go. No, absolutely. Always
Sometimes
ready to be better.
and listen to some of these old breeders because they know what they're talking about. Y'all, and like I want to tell some of these young men, y'all don't know what the hell you're talking about. Shut up.
Oh man. Well, I mean, you've been doing this for, a long time with multiple breeds, and it's like you've got a lot of very, very well-rounded experience, and I that's why I was so excited to have you on the show tonight. Is
Oh
because
yeah.
like you've been doing this long enough. You love educating people. You walk the walk.
Well,
And
yeah, I have a story, and I'm gonna leave it at this. My mentor Robert had a partner named Diego. Diego did not like me for a long time. I went away from Afghans and I went to Wild Dachshunds. So, and I hadn't seen Robert maybe for about, well, we didn't see each other as frequently as we normally did, but I hadn't been going to shows with him a whole lot, and I was just doing my own thing, going to shows as I pleased, and they didn't see me for maybe a couple of years. One day, everybody was at the same show, and Diego came and knocked on my door, and he said this to me. He said, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" I said, "Sure." He came in, he sat down and said, "Man, you talked a whole lot. You talked a lot about a lot of stuff, and I didn't believe you. But damn, you did it. And you didn't and you didn't no fanfare. You talked about it. You did it." And he shook my hand because he's like, you were honest about what you were trying to do, and you did it.
Mhm.
That's the key. That's the thing. If you're gonna do anything, be about it. Don't just talk it, walk it. And a friend of mine passed away way too young from lung cancer, and I was talking about something, and he said, "Don't talk about it, do it." And I've kind of stayed to that.
I love
Um,
it. No, that's beautiful.
and like never mind. I'm writing books right now, and I have my friends sitting up there telling me, "Hurry up and get it done, hurry up and get it done." Do you realize how much editing I have to do? But now I realize it's time to do it. Not talk about it, just get it done. And it's not always that easy. Sewing dogs is not easy,
No.
but nor should it be easy. Because if it was easy, everybody could do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Handling it is not easy. Judging is not easy. Dealing with some of these people is not easy. Ooh, I don't know how y'all do it some days, because I'm like, can I just smack y'all? But I'm of an age where that we come from. I'll beat your ass. Still, I'm sorry. But my point, that's how my mother was.
Mm.
My mother was still alive today. She'd be sitting up there, boy, and there'd be a cane coming behind me because she didn't play. But if you're really, well, I'm passionate. Everybody can see that. Everybody knows it if they don't know it. But I want everybody to be successful. And the only way you're going to be successful is by doing the work, being patient, and taking the time. Because that's all what it takes. All of what I just said. Time, patience, and work. If you're not willing to do it, go do something else. That's and that's I guess that's my final word, kind of. But again, and I would like to thank everybody for, and thank you for the invitation. I'm looking, if there's a part two, whew,
It's gonna be a
Bruce,
part two.
then I might talk about it then, Bruce. I might talk about it then.
Oh, it's gonna be a part two.
It's gonna be Brit. It's gonna be Brit for sure.
Well, I might even have a couple of offlines. I mean, Bruce and I have talked about something. Bruce, if you want to share what I wrote, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
I just, as a judge, I have to be really quiet in some
Sure.
things. And I know, Bruce, I know that's going to ruffle a lot of people's feathers. I don't give a shit. Um, because if we want to be better, someone has to open their mouth and say we have to be better.
Yeah.
If someone sees something wrong, they have to say they see something wrong.
Right.
And a lot of us are too willing to stand by the wayside and say it's okay. Just like we're talking about the Merle color, and everybody, like you said, it took a minute for you to wrap your head around it. As I made a point, and I'm gonna say it like this: bullies have their own problems. Do not create any more chaos when you haven't taken care of the first problems you have in the first place.
That's fair.
I understand the community, I understand the money, I understand all of it. But if you have not taken care of your first problem, why are you going to create more chaos?
Hey,
And I'm
Chester,
going to use the friend that.
you getting a little too much in part two now. We gonna have to say we gonna have to say that for part two.
So I feel like that's going to be a whole discussion. I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
Good Lord.
But
Well, but I mean, that's being real.
Yeah.
I mean, we I don't, no matter what position we're in, whether we're breeders, judges, exhibitors, if we see something wrong, we need to speak.
I
Yeah.
agree. I absolutely agree.
Like I'm always in Terry's ear about time. I'm always in Terry's ear about different things. And if I see a mutt, I call it a mutt. I'm sorry, I have done that several times, and I don't care. But we need to talk about these things. We can't be afraid to talk about it. And that's why Bruce, I really want to post that. You just don't know.
Don't do it yet.
Woo!
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it yet.
Why not? Oh no.
I want to do part two because I want to kind of keep everybody like, wondering, you know what I'm saying? Wondering. I'd rather do part two.
I might. There's one person, Amanda. I might share it with you because I think that's fair.
I would love to read it because I mean I think that just
Yeah.
for a part two, having that in advance so that way if there's certain talking points that I really want to kind of like dig in on or kind of get like where you went with it or like why that or where that mindset came from or whatnot. I would love that. I would love to have that in my arsenal ready to go.
Let me put it to you like this. There's going to be a whole lot of upset people.
And
the reason why they're going to be upset is because I'm talking about science, I'm talking about fact, I'm talking about understanding what a breed does. And see, they're not going to like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to use the hairless gene on the Chinese crested. See, I'm not talking about a Bruce, but I'm going to use this as an example. So, in the hairless, there's hairy hairless and there's a true hairless. In the hairless, you can breed a hairless to a hairless, but you have to go to a powder puff in order to continue the lines. These knuckleheads don't understand that if you keep breeding a hairless to a hairless to a hairless, you're going to have deformed pups. You're going to have puppies with health problems. Okay, so you always have to go to our haired dog in order to produce, but they don't do their research.
Nope.
I shouldn't say that. I do not think they do their
Right.
research. I'm making an assumption.
You're
They may
right,
have,
right,
but
yeah.
I will put money on it that they don't do their research.
And you know why?
Because if they don't know about Fox 13, they're not doing their research.
Oh no, absolutely. But that's why we have people like you to throw that out there.
Oh well, yeah. Well, but I've been doing Chinese crested for over 40 years. I've been interested in them. I know the top breeders in the I know the breeders, top breeders in the breed at that time, and they're still my friends. And they're the ones we had that we've had conversations. Matter of fact, just for FYI, they're trying to there's a faction that wants to separate the hairless Chinese crested hairless from the Chinese crested powder puff. Can't do that.
Yeah.
Because if you make them two separate varieties, they can't interbreed.
Yeah.
If you don't interbreed them, if you don't cross over use the powder puff for the hairless, you'll have there'll be no more Chinese hairless.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and that goes for Zolos and Zolos and Inca orchids as well. But again, there are man-made breeds that are surviving, but at what cost?
Right.
Yeah.
Precisely. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm gonna stop there because that sounds like part 2, doesn't it, Bruce?
It is.
That's
It
definitely
is. Yeah.
part 2. That is
We'll do that
definitely
part
part
2.
2, among other things. So,
No doubt.
but yeah.
So
So,
anyway, again, thank you, everybody. If anybody has any questions, if they want, they can just inbox me. I'll answer any questions. If they need more clarification, if they want to know more about me, that's fine. If you look at my Facebook page, you can see all the dogs that I've shown. Dogs that I'm associated with, or just general, a little bit about me. Like I said, I am writing. I have a book of poetry I'll be producing pretty soon. I have a bunch of adult stories, and I actually have a children's story I have to actually finish about. It was my first dog. My first dog being shown through his eyes, not mine.
oh, okay, that's unique. All right, I can dig it. All right, well,
So it's to encourage children that they can do this,
okay.
especially minority children. Sorry, I'm to the point. Especially minority children, because they don't believe they can do this.
I think that's wonderful.
But
I think that's definitely gonna open some eyes. So I'm glad you're doing that. That's a big step. A lot of people don't think that, but it is.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it is. So, but I hope to be in Alabama for the next shows. I'm trying to. Well, the reason why nobody sees me at shows at ICBR because I'm focusing on my. I have dogs in AKC that need to be finished.
Okay.
I have a Siberian Husky bitch that needs a major. I have a Saluki bitch that needs 3
Mhm.
points to finish. Omen's going to be spot shown in AKC, as well as the French Bulldog. Between his owner and I, we're going to special him,
Okay.
so I can be anywhere in the country at any given time.
Right.
And then there's a lot of other stuff that I'm doing. Generally during the summer, I take off because I got to work on my tan. I'm a little white right now.
Well, I was about to say because June there's an ICBR show at in Birmingham at the BJCC. I want to say.
I'll take a look at that. I might come down.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy meeting everybody. 1 and 2, I just like being away from everything every once in a while. And I might bring I'll surprise. Well, there might be a red puppy with me. I haven't decided quite yet. We have to wait for a couple of things. Oh yeah,
Right.
Bruce, she got all 3 of them,
Oh man.
and I started working with them, and I'm like, oh,
Golly.
Well, hopefully we'll
hey,
see you
man,
there. But
hey.
I did put links like the Facebook events for all the shows that we got coming up, especially the Shanika show, that ICBR in early June.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Well,
but yeah, we'll definitely start planning a part 2, and we love to see you back on the show and get into some more detailed things. And yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
you're up for it. So are we.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. I
All right,
enjoyed my
Chester.
evening.
All right, Miss Chester. Y'all take it
Absolutely,
easy.
Justin. Thank
Good night,
you.
guys.
Uh,
All right.
All right.
You guys have a great
Bye-bye.
night.
Night.